Wommack and Mike Farrell here in New York City. We're joined by Midwest recruiting analyst Josh Helmholdt. Josh, how you doing today?
Good, guys. Doing well, thanks.
All right, well, not as much drama as usual in your region headed into the signing day, or at least signing period. But we want to talk real quick about Ohio State. Urban Meyer, one of the most dynamic recruiters we've seen in the Rivals.com era. Ryan Day now is his first full year to recruit after replacing Urban. How have the Buckeyes been doing, and how do you sense that transition went over the past year?
Yeah, obviously, you look at the transition on the field was seamless. I mean, you got maybe the best Ohio State football team in modern history right now out there. But on the recruiting trail, it really was kind of the same story. Number 4 class as we sit here today on Monday, they're not going to be able to challenge for the number 1 overall ranking like they have in the last couple of years, but it's a solid class. I mean, you have some big name guys, particularly at that wide receiver position with Julian Fleming and obviously the guy out of my area, Mookie Cooper from St. Louis, who's explosive as can be. So much so that you got a guy, Michigan State Player of the Year 2 times in a row, Cameron Martinez, who was recruited by everybody to be a slot. And I think he's going to end up on the defensive side of the ball because they just don't have the room on the offense right now.
Let's talk about Michigan. They've been pretty quiet. I mean, Jim Harbaugh is usually not quiet, but top 10 class. But down the stretch here, not a lot of exciting news for the Wolverines. What's going on there?
Yeah, was just actually the most exciting news was a 2022 commitment that they got today. So, Michigan has not recruited, especially in-state, but the Midwest as well, like they used to 10, 15 years ago. Jim Harbaugh really has looked out east. They've really put a lot of effort out there. They're getting kids out of Texas, Georgia. They have one of the best national brands, but they're losing out on some of the top guys in their own backyard. In a year where this has never happened before, there are more 4-stars from the state of Michigan than there are from the state of Ohio. Ohio always leads off Midwest recruiting in terms of talent production, but now you've got a state of Michigan, particularly that Detroit area, that is kicking out big-time talent. You look at guys like Justin Rogers, 5-star defensive tackle, going to Kentucky. And that's kind of been, I would say, the biggest chink in his armor, Jim Harbaugh's armor, as, you look at what he does from a recruiting standpoint, is not secure home base like previous coaches at Michigan have.
Now, Josh, we know there's been a lot of rumors floating around, maybe some Midwest flips. What do you think we're in store for here on signing day with guys maybe changing their mind and headed elsewhere?
Yeah, there's 2 guys right now I'm looking at really, really closely to see what they're going to do. Miles Slusher out of Oklahoma, he has been committed to Oregon since April and took an official visit to Nebraska in September. Most recently, just got back from an official visit to Arkansas. Arkansas was involved with this one really closely early on. Also took an official visit to UCLA. I really think Sam Pittman's got a chance to flip him and Miles be a 4-star pickup late in the process for the new head coach down at Arkansas. But it could be Nebraska, where he's close friend Sevion Morrison, running back, is up there, so that creates a nice connection. I'm interested to see where he goes, but I think at the end of the day, I'd be surprised if Miles Slusher ends up at Oregon. The other one that just developed here over the weekend, Manya Singh, a 4-star wide receiver out of the Detroit area, has been committed to Northwestern for a year. He took a surprise official visit to Purdue over the weekend. So Pat Fitzgerald is old school. He does not like his commitments talking about other schools, let alone taking official visits to other schools. So we'll see what happens with that recruitment, but I think there's a good chance that one could flip schools here at the end.
Yeah, Northwestern, their offense is fine. They don't need any more. They don't need a 4-star receiver. So,
It did look good this year, didn't it?
yeah, it looked great. All right, Josh, thanks a lot. We want to remind you, follow Josh on Twitter. Stay tuned to Rivals.com. We'll have more news throughout the week here on Rivals.com.